GBB. Do you guys want to learn how to do that sound? I said, GBB, do you guys want to learn how to do that? Jordan for the Konnichiwa, minasan, hajimemashite. Just saying one thing that you wanted to say. GBB, do you wanna get it down, wanna get it down, wanna get it down, wanna get it down? Arigatou gozaimasu.
All right, so we got JP's Elim here. All right, so first off, I want to say I think his wildcard for these competitions, or his wildcards for this competition, is probably some of my favorite in the solo category. I thought he was like extremely innovative, unique, creative. It's like everything you'd want in a wildcard. And also in this elimination here, we got to see his first round wildcard being used here for the second half of this elimination. So with all that being said, the elimination itself, I think, had a lot of issues. The first one, and the most glaring one for me, is the overall structure of the entire routine. I felt like it was a little bit all over the place, especially for that first half. I think it was pretty ambitious for the most part, but the execution and structure just wasn't 100% there for me. Also, some of the sounds that he was using there, I'm pretty sure he uses like a teeth click, kind of like what we saw with Dillup. But the difference here is that, especially in this first portion, like this first routine that he used in this elimination, came out very, very quiet. in comparison to like someone like Dilip who did the same kind of sound and it was much more powerful. To be fair though, JP did make up for that because he used it again in the second half and it was a little bit louder, but yeah, it came out very, very quiet in the first half. So yeah, then going into the second portion where he kind of did his wild card, the overall like kind of transition, it was a little bit sloppy for me, kind of didn't fit too well, like cohesively together. It didn't feel like a concrete like idea, or maybe he messed up, but it just didn't feel like a natural kind of like flow into the wild card, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's definitely a few issues with this elimination here for me. So if I were to judge, he would probably, unfortunately for me, be in the last place right now for all the 6 people who went so far. But you know, like he had some of my favorite wild cards, so I feel like maybe this just is just like the nerves, or like yeah, he just didn't execute it the way he wanted to because maybe he was nervous. I don't know, but I know like I know what he's capable of doing, and I also seen him live like years ago, and like he was pretty damn good. But for this elimination here in particular, just didn't go his way. I think like I feel like he probably knows that too. Obviously, like if you beatbox all the time, I think you can probably tell when you don't have like the best kind of performance that you want to have. So I feel like this might be one of those moments here for JP, unfortunately. But yeah, it does it to some people, you know, like coming up here on the big stage, the Grand Beatbox Battle. It's not an easy thing to do, I can imagine. So yeah, you got to give props to everybody who comes up here on the stage, you know. So massive respect here to JP. We all know what he's capable of doing. It just didn't really come out quite like he wanted to and what we wanted to hear from him for this elimination. But yeah. All right, so we got 3 other ones to go through here. We're having 4 eliminations in one video here. So I believe the next one is Den. So let's get right into it.
You got me feeling some type of way. Ooh, you got me thinking what we could be, what we could. What we could be, what we could. What we could be, all that I want is you by my side. Girl, what you say? I need your replies. I need your replies. Need your replies. Need your replies. Need your replies. Need your reply, please. All right. I don't know if you guys know this one, but feel free to sing along. On to the next one. You were so hard to find. It wasn't easy. But now that I found you, my life's completed. You said that I'd get up, but I can't live without you. Never thought that kind. Love, 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 love. Somebody. Somebody. Never thought that I'd love somebody. That I give up, but I can't live without you. Never thought that I'd love somebody like you. Thank you.
Dead.
All right, so we had Den here. So I'm obviously a big fan of Den, you know, ever since the Beatbox Battle United. Like, even before then, his Grand Beatbox Battle wildcard for 2021, where he actually also competed for elimination. Didn't make it through to the battles there, unfortunately. But here he is again, back in 2023. And I think Den has one of the coolest styles, honestly. He has such a killer like sense of musicality, but he also has that like deadly kind of like bass like variance as well. So like his ability to kind of obviously combine those two things makes for a really cool, unique kind of style, in my opinion. So, and that's pretty much what he did here in this entire wildcard, you know. Used his vocals, used his basses, and created this like bassy musical track, honestly, and that proceeded throughout the entire routine. With that being said, I've been noticing this with Den. Obviously, his kind of style requires like very, very precise, like precision with, you know, his pitching and whatnot for his like musicality, right? So I feel like it's really, really hard to get that perfect, especially in a live environment. Obviously, when you're doing this stuff online, you have like endless amount of takes to perfect it. But when you're doing it in person on stage, right, you have to get it in one take. And when I watch Den live, like he does it well for the most part, but he can never replicate like the true greatness that he can perform on video in person. Not in person, in video online, right? And I think I can't really blame him for that, man, because like it's super, super hard. But like every time I see him in person performing this stuff, it always makes me think like, man, if he did this like with endless takes online, this would be like absolutely incredible. Like it's incredible here, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. That's just like the kind of like thing I always think about when it comes to Den. But yeah, in terms of this elimination, like other than like again like the slight like off pitch sometimes with his like vocals and melodies, he did have that like intermission break between, which is like it's not the biggest deal, but like I think for me, if you like really want to excel in your elimination, you need to make like every single moment count, right? And we kind of seen that with like people already. Like Improver was absolutely phenomenal in that aspect. And also towards the end here, Den did feel like he was running out of breath, you know, which is another thing for beatboxers. You know, it's completely understandable, and that's like a talent in itself to kind of like manage your breath control. So yeah, I think overall pretty solid elimination here from Den. No like massive complaints other than what I mentioned before. Like he didn't make like any like critical mistakes or anything. His structure was pretty good. I liked his musicality again, and you know his bass is always very satisfying to listen to. He has one of the best basses in the entire beatbox scene, I think. So, yeah, overall very solid elimination here from Den, I think. And again, we have a lot more to go through, so I know the results, but I'm not going to spoil it. So wherever he falls at the end of the day will be very interesting, I guess, for people who don't know. But yeah. I believe we have Mr. Android up here next, so let's get right into the next video.
mythical. You're so toxic to be so mystical. I fall into the typical sound of your words. It's too bad. I'm falling. I'm falling. To be somebody's so don't stick to be mystical.
My God.
拍手お願いします。
Wow.
どうもありがとうございます。
Mr. Android!
Woo! Wow. Wow, that was an incredible elimination, honestly. Wow. Just like some of the his ability with his combinations is some of the most, you hear me say it a lot, but it's so true. Like, it's some of the most innovative beatboxing we've heard today, right? Just his combinations, his ability to kind of, implement his, unique kind of sounds into his combinations is absolutely incredible. And I think he displayed that amazingly well here, especially in the first couple minutes here. But yeah, just right from the get-go, man. We just watched Den, and some of the critiques I had with Den was his pitching and his ability to kind of implement that into his his melodies and whatnot. I felt like Mr. Android did that absolutely like perfectly here. Like his pitch control was on point. Like for the entire for the majority, like especially in that first like few minutes. Man, that is absolutely spectacular. Like that's definitely up there for me right now. Again, this is like only the 7th one out of 18 that we have here, but he might be in the 2nd spot for me. I still think that Improver is still on top here, but that was really, really impressive stuff here from Mr. Android. Yeah, you know, like, for those who follow the beatbox scene pretty closely, like, I feel like Mr. Android's, like, one of those guys that been kind of, like, getting a lot of, like, unnecessary kind of hate for whatever reason. Like, not a lot of people were really a fan of him, especially in, like, the last few years. But I feel like that's kind of starting to shift now, because, like, people are really, like, starting to understand, like, his kind of style and, like, where he fits in the beatbox scene. And, like, everything, obviously, he's improving in himself, and everything is, like, starting to come together. And now we have, like, this near complete product that we just seen here. Like, really innovative kind of, like, killer kind of combinations. His ability to kind of, like, I don't know, create his own kind of, like, craft and art with the beatboxing is, I don't know. It's absolutely insane. I don't know. I don't understand how he does it. He's just absolutely amazing in that regard, so... Wow. These are like one of the performances that kind of like leave you speechless, because I just genuinely don't even know what else to say about it. Yeah, that was absolutely spectacular from start to finish. Maybe like it fell off a little bit for me near the end. You know, they're going for 4 minutes, so like I feel like it's almost near impossible to have like a complete solid 4 minutes that keeps you like 100% entertained and like locked in for the entire 4 minutes. But he did a very solid job for the most part. So, yeah, I think he's like my second favorite at this point out of 7 people. So, yeah. All right, so we have one more left for this video. I believe it's going to be Helium. So let's get right into it.
Box.
DJ Олег. Yo, GBB. And I love you too, guys.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, so we have Helium's elimination here. Obviously, Helium, a veteran of the Grand Beatbox battle, you know, had a historic, iconic battle with King Inertia in 2021. You know, he's been around for a long time, so I had like pretty high expectations for Helium, especially coming out of the previous Grand Beatbox battle. That was a really close battle he had again with King Inertia, so like you ask anyone, someone would probably give you, it's like a 50-50 overall, I'd assume, from people who thought who won that battle. So yeah, my expectations were pretty high, I think, coming in for Helium. So I'm a little bit, I don't want to say like disappointed, just a little surprised at his approach here from his elimination. Like his first like couple minutes there felt like it wasn't really like what I expect from Helium. He was like almost like experimenting, like taking this as like an experiment for like a new kind of style maybe. I'm not really sure like his approach there at the first like a minute and a half. It didn't sound like bad per se, it just kind of like, it didn't really fit honestly for me, like in the overall like the grand scheme of things of like how the entire elimination kind of played out, right? Because they had that first portion, then it went into like the DJ Alec thing that we heard from him many times, right? So I felt like if he just cut that first like minute and a half and just started with the DJ Alec, then threw something else at the end, like maybe some killer combinations and whatnot, I feel like this elimination would be like a lot better in my eyes. But I just feel like that first like minute and a half, 2 minutes, just really didn't fit the overall like grand scheme of the elimination itself. It just didn't feel like it was in the right place, I think. Yeah, like still like respect for Helium for trying something new, but I just feel like it kind of missed the mark here in this elimination in particular. It kind of felt like a little bit, again, out of place and a little bit odd to hear him kind of like, especially like starting with that, because we know like, you know, like the beatboxers shouldn't like be locked to like a certain kind of style, right? Like they have the freedom to do whatever they want, but it's still like a little bit jarring for me as like someone who's been following Helium for a very long time to kind of like implement that into his elimination, and for it to like kind of fit in the way that it did just felt like a little bit off to me. So so again, it's just not really what I expected from him, I guess. But yeah, if you put that aside, everything else was absolutely, you know, classic Helium, like absolutely like phenomenal drums. He has some of the cleanest percussion in all of the beatbox, and that was definitely well represented here. His structure was 100% on point, even with like the portion that I didn't like. He had very good structure there as well. But yeah, like overall, I think the biggest downside for me was like how the beginning portion just didn't really fit in at all, and also maybe like at the end there was a little bit, the energy died down a little bit for me towards the end. But like, yeah, I think like overall it's still pretty solid. It's just that it had some things that I wasn't a fan of in particular for his elimination. But yeah, love Helium. We all know what he's capable of doing. I love his YouTube channel. I love the videos that he's been doing recently. So yeah, I have massive respect for this guy, regardless of like how I thought he performed here. And I think like, you know, if he obviously decides to like still compete, we know like what he's capable of doing. Like he can easily win this entire competition, right? Like that goes without saying. So Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. 4 videos into one. Again, we have, I think after this one, we have 10 more for the eliminations. Then we're obviously getting into the battles, which will be pretty hype, I think. So I know who's going to be battling. Some of you don't, so I won't spoil that for you. But it's going to be awesome, I think. We got a nice lineup ahead of us, so... Alright, so if you guys enjoyed what you heard here, links in the description to the original videos. Go check them out. Go check out Swiss Beatbox as well. Leave them a subscription. If you want to support me though, leave a like on this video. Sub to my channel. Check out my Discord channel. Links in the description to that as well. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next Beatbox reaction video.